kitchen has a jagged kind of edge. I'm leaning on my weight against a crumbling ledge. I found your silver earring in the carpet by the bed. And suddenly the room is turning. Caution, take breath. I thought I was a soldier, thought I made it through the war, but I'm stumbling through the ruins of who I was before. And I'm walking with a bleeding heart tonight, for the hollow, no medicine for the why, just a heavy metal rhythm under a leading sky. It's a slow motion leap, it's a soul deep sting, the price I have to pay for giving you everything. Oh, this they say keep it all together and don't you let it show, but the salt is in the marrow and there's nowhere left to go. Every song on the radio is a knife against the skin, reminding me of everywhere that we have already been. I'm a map of old scars that have opened up again, drowning in the middle of a soundless red rain. I'm not looking for a hero, I'm not looking for a cure, I'm just trying to survive being this damn pure. I gave you the pulse and I gave you the heat. Now I'm just a rhythm that's missing a beat. Still leaking, bleeding heart, still reaching, bleeding heart. The red keeps running, bleeding heart. I didn't see it coming. We were folded into patterns, sharp and neatly creased. Thinking we were masterworks, a love that was released. I drew our future in the margin with a pen that wouldn't dry, never thinking for a second that a page could learn to lie. But the edges started fraying when the wind began to blow, and the forever that we scripted was the first thing to go. Now we're just two paper hearts caught in a summer rain, watching all the ink turn to a blurry kind of pain. One little spark and we're nothing but the edge, one little storm and we're destined for the crash. scrap of us today, hidden in a drawer, a tattered little memory of a life we don't live anymore. It's funny how a goodbye can be heavier than stone when it's written on a surface that's so hollow and alone. I tried to tape the pieces, try to glue the you and me, but you can't mend the silhouette of what used to be. Cardboard walls and origami dreams, everything is ripping at the yellowed out seams. We were built for the shelf, not the fire or the flood, with nothing but a pencil-lead rhythm in our blood. Tearing slowly, hearts holding lonely, paper hearts, just a scrap of white in the middle of the night. The swing on the porch is just a rusted out ghost of the version of us that I miss the most. I'm standing in the kitchen where the walls used to talk. Now the silence is a shadow following the way I walk. The stove's gone cold and the flowers are dead, just a lot of empty space in a king-size bed. I'm holding on to keys that don't open a thing, watching for the winter in the middle of the spring. It's a broken home, sad story pieces are still looking for you. The roof is leaking sorries and the floorboards groan. I'm the only soul living in a house made of stone. Close the curtains, sad story. Turn the light out, broken home, just the echo of being I'm a glass left out in the pouring rain, collecting the clouds but missing the grain. I used to be overflowing, I used to be deep, with 1,000 secrets I was proud to keep. But you reached for the bottom and you drank me dry, leaving nothing but the salt in a hollow eye. Now I'm just a shape sitting on the shelf, a stranger to the ghost of my former self. Oh, I'm an empty vessel, echoing in wide, with a million goodbyes rattling inside. No more heat in the mirror, no more wine in the cup, just a heavy kind of silence that won't shut up. I'm a bell with no ringer, I'm a well with no rope, drowning in the absence of a lingering hope, just an empty vessel. You can tap on my chest and hear the hollow ring, like a winter burnt field waiting for the spring. I walk through the city like a suit with no man, trying to remember how the forever began. The light passes through me like I'm made of air. I'm present in the room, but I'm never quite there. I've got the porcelain skin and the polished face, but I'm just a monument to a lost love place. They say fill it back up with a newfound spark, but how do you light a fire in a place this dark? The cracks in the bottom are starting to show, letting every drop of the maybe go. Nothing inside, empty vessel, nowhere to hide, empty vessel, just the echo of being alone. The floorboards are cold, but the air is still heavy with the scent of the coffee. You won't drink with me, your keys are on the counter, right next to the regret. And I'm memorizing lines I haven't even heard yet. The clock on the wall is a heartbeat that's slowing. I'm bracing for the wind because I know where you're going. So grant me one last request before you walk out that door. Don't tell me day. The sun's on the porch, your hands on the knob. That was my last request, now go. Kept the lights low so I wouldn't see the cracks. Building a palace out of things we both lacked. You were a habit I didn't wanna break, but even the sweetest poison leaves an ache. I chase the echoes of who we used to be, until the silence started screaming at me. Oh, the bitter truth hurts like a jagged blade, cutting through the promises and plans we made. I'd rather have the light, let it burn, let it stay, than feel the ice of knowing you're halfway away. It's the salt in the wound, it's the ghost in the room. The bitter truth is a heavy kind of doom. You didn't have to say it, it's written on your face, like a map of a city you're trying to erase. We're just two strangers sharing one bed, living off the ghost stories inside of my head. I'm reaching for a hand that's already gone. Yeah, it hurts. The bitter truth, I'm finally waking up. Streetlights are humming a low, steady blue, a rhythm for the space that was once filled by you. I'm tracing the sidewalk, avoiding the lines, like if I don't trip I'll be doing just fine. But the air is too thin and the shadows are long, and even the wind knows the words to this song. It's a silent walk alone through the heart of the dark, counting the miles and the ghost-colored sparks. No hands to hold, just the cold in my coat and the weight of the goodbyes stuck in my throat. Just the sound of my boots on the pavement, stone in a world turned quiet. I'm walking Nothing is louder than these empty streets. The silence is screaming, it's calling your name, and I'm the only one left to carry the flame. Step two, quiet as a poem, just a silent walk home. I'm still wearing the sweater that smells like your car. Funny how the things that heal you leave the biggest scar. We were honey and lightning, a beautiful mess. Now I'm just cleaning champagne off of my dress. The sunset is gold, but the air is turning cold, like a story that ended before it was told. Oh, it's bittersweet, it's the sting and the soft. It's the way that you held me, then pushed me right off. A spoonful of sugar just to swallow the glass. Watching the best of us turn into the past. It's a beautiful poison, a heavenly defeat. Loving you was always so I found your odor in the pocket of my jeans. Always and forever, do you know what that means? It's a sour taste now, like fruit on the vine that sat out too long in the warmth of the wine. I'm laughing at memories while crying on the floor. I never wanted and hated something more. The bitter is the goodbye, the sweet was the hello. The bitter is the staying, the sweet was letting go. I'm caught in the middle, in the gray, in the ache. How much of this candy can one heart take? Tastes like a dream, feels like a scream, so bitter, so sweet. The neon is flickering, pulsing in time, with 100 strangers all chasing a high. The bass is a hammer against my chest, but I'm just a ghost in a Sunday dress. People are laughing, spilling their drinks, but I'm standing right on the edge of the brink. I'm a lost soul in the crowded room, wandering through the perfume and booze. Nobody sees that I'm coming apart in the middle of the dance floor. where we were. I see a jacket that looks just like yours. It don't push through the rhythm and out of the doors. But it's just another person I'll never know. A flash in the pan, a part of the show. I'm screaming inside, but the music's too loud. Just a shadow moving through faces crowd. I could disappear, and they wouldn't even blink. Lost in reality, thought on another dream. It's the loneliest feeling, being this close to a world that feels like a beautiful ghost. Wall to wall people, but I'm all alone. Just a lost soul walking home. Your toothbrush is still leaning by the sink. There's a half-written letter in disappearing ink. We were mid-conversation, a breath in the air. Now I'm talking to shadows, and you aren't there. The calendar's marked for a night in July, but the pages are empty, and I don't know why. You're gone too soon, like a spark in the rain, leaving a hole where there used to be pain. We were just getting started, the best was ahead. Now I'm tracing the space on your side of the bed. A beautiful story with the pages torn out. You're all that I'm thinking and all I'm without. I saw a movie you'd hate, and I reached for my phone. Then remember the silence of being alone. It's the almost that kills me, the what could have been, the doors that we closed that will never open again. You left like a phantom before the first light. Now I'm stuck in the middle of a permanent night. No warning, no signal, no slow motion fade, just the wreckage of every plan that we made. I wasn't ready to say the last word. Now it's the loudest thing I've ever heard. Too fast, too quiet, just gone. Way too soon. I'm breathing out far in the heat of July, tracing the frost that you left in your eye. I reached for a spark, touched the ledge of a mountain of ice at the water's edge. You used to be fire, you used to be gold. Now you're just a story that's already told. It's a cold, stone cold heart beating in there, a statue of salt with a hollowed out stare. I'm shivering next to the ghost of your skin, trying to find where the warmth used to begin. The statues don't move and the marble don't bleed. A cold stone heart is all that you leave. I poured out my blood just to see if you'd melt, but you're further away than I've ever felt. No flicker of mercy, no crack in the wall, just a long silent winter inside of this hall. You're a beautiful ruin, a winter I saw, and I'm just the fool trying to make you feel whole. I take a I hate you over this nothing at all. I take the crash if it meant we could fall. But you're anchored in granite, you're locked in the gray, and I'm freezing to death while I'm begging to stay. Hard as a rock, dark as a cave, cold stone heart, going to its grave. The leaves aren't the only thing hitting the ground. There's a heavy kind of gravity when you aren't around. I didn't hear the glass break, I didn't hear a scream, just the quiet evaporation of a long-held dream. No thunder in the distance, no warning in the air, just the sudden realization that you no longer care. It's a silent fall down, a slow motion crash, turning all our colors into shades of gray ash. No sirens are coming, no lights in the street, just the sound of the carpet underneath my feet. I'm hitting the bottom, but I don't make a sound in the middle of the silent fall down. I'm watching the dust motes dance in the light, while I lose the only battle I was willing to fight. You stepped out the circle, you let go of the rope, and I'm free. just a ghost in the hallway, turning out the light. If I yelled, would you hear me? If I broke, would you stay? Or are you already miles in a lifetime away? The hardest part of dropping is the air in between, where I'm still holding on to what I thought we had been. No one hears the impact, just a silent fall. I'm striking matches in the pouring rain, trying to find the heat, but only feeling the drain. We used to be a wildfire, bright, blinding light. Now we're just two shadows blending into the night. I'm looking for the glow that used to live in your eyes, but all I see is charcoal and 1,000 goodbyes. It's a lost spark, a flicker in the dark, searching for the fire, but we can't find a mark. We're blowing on the embers until our lungs turn blue, but there's no magic left between me and you. Just a cold gray ash where the lightning used to land. A lost spark slipping through the palm of my hand. Circuit in the beat of my heart. I take a burn, I take a sting, I take the pain over this hollow feeling to stand in the rain. Maybe we use it all up in a single July. Maybe some stars are just meant to fall from the sky. I'm sitting on the edge of a bed that's grown too wide, watching the dust settle on the secrets we would hide. The clock is ticking like a hammer on a nail, and every breath I'm drawing feels hollow and stale. Thought the quiet would be a mercy, a sweet release, but the walls are talking and they won't let me be at peace. It's a silent room, echoes bound things you left. The house settling into its green, 1,000 hollow sounds with no hope of relief. I trade this quiet for 1,000-mile storm. I trade the peace just to feel your heart warm. But the frequency is broken, the signal is dead, and I'm trapped in the things that were never quite said. Did you hear that? Just an echo, just the room singing back to me. Floorboards are humming a song I don't know. Since the day that you packed up and decided to go, I'm walking through rooms like a ghost in a cage, while the dust gathers thick on the very last page. The fridge is humming loud just to fill up the space, but it can't hide the fact there's no smile on your face. I got the empty house blues ringing in my ears, drowning in the silence of these wasted years. Every corner is a memory, every shadow is a sting, in a house full of nothing, where the rafters don't sing. Yeah, the ceiling is high, but my heart's on the floor. I've got the empty house blues since you walked out the door. Your coffee mug is sitting where you left it by the sink. It's funny how a little thing can push you to the brink. I tried to paint the hallway just to change the view, but the color of the walls is just a deeper shade of blue. I'm turning on the TV just to hear a human voice, but the static only reminds me that I didn't have a choice. I could sell the furniture, I could burn the rug, I could try to find a heart that's a little less smug, but the bricks remember your name and the windows saw it all. It's a long, lonely winter inside of these walls. Just the wind in the chimney, just the creak in the stair. Nothing but the blues, and nobody there. I dust to settle in on the black and white. It's been quiet here since you left that night. I sit down, I try to play our song, but my fingers feel heavy and the timing's wrong. There's a ghost in the rhythm, a shadow on the keys. I'm drowning in the silence that you brought to its knees. You were a symphony, you were a perfect sound, floating on air, never touching the ground. Now the melody's broken, jagged and sharp, and I'm just a stranger fumbling in the dark. I remember the way that you used to hum before the static and the numbness had come. Now the birth is collapsing, the structure is weak. I play a crescendo, but I'm too tired to speak. Is it a back and forth or a diminished fifth? It doesn't matter now, you're just a beautiful me. We were the anthem, we were the goal, the story of love that would never get old. Now I'm just noise echoing off the wall, waiting for an answer, waiting for your call. Now I'm searching for the lost chord, the one that brings you back home. I'm striking nature, but I'm feeling lighter, sitting in this crowded room alone. There's a space in the harmony, a hole in the air. I'm reaching out for an update. Is it done? Yeah, I'm stumbling over the lost cause. I shout every scream, I break every bone. It meant I didn't have to finish this alone. Let the dissonance scream, wake me up from this terrible dream. Still searching for the lost chord, the one that brings you back home. I'm striking major, but I'm feeling lighter, sitting in this empty room alone. There's a space in the harmony, a hole in the air. I'm reaching out for an update. Is it done? It's unresolved, just hanging in the blue. The song isn't finished, and neither are you. business in this sky. The world is spinning fast and loud, but I'm just a shadow inside of a cloud. The clocks are ticking, marking my time. I'm accused of living, but I've done no crime. They say it gets easier, they say it will pass, but I'm walking on embers, I'm crawling on glass. The silence is violent, it rings in my ears, a flood that is rising, fed by the tears. And I'm falling into the deep morn, where the night is forever and the heart is torn. It's heavy as iron, it's cold as the clay. It's the price that I promised the dead I must pay. Yeah, I'm sinking low, where the light cannot go, into the deep morn, down below. I kept your jacket, I kept your name, but staring at pictures just isn't the same. The chair is empty, the coffee is cold, a story finished before it was told. I try to breathe out, I try to breathe in, but the air is too thick and my patience is thin. They say to keep moving, to step towards the day, but my feet are concrete and I'm losing my way. The silence is violent, it screams in the hall. I'm waiting for footsteps that never will fall, and I'm falling into the deep morn, where the night is forever and the heart is torn. It's heavy as iron, it's cold as the clay. It's the price that I promised the dead I must pay. Yeah, I'm sinking low, where the light cannot go, into the deep morn, down below. It's not just the sadness, it's not just the blues, it's the anchor that drags, it's the nothing I choose. It's the end of the line, it's the fate of the spark, it's the comfort I find alone in the dark. Deep morn, heavy and slow, I miss you more than you'll ever know. Deep morn, deep morn, deep morn, deep morn. The screen door shuts, the latch clicks into place. I'm standing on the porch, staring at empty space. It's 3 a.m., the neighborhood is dead, but I can't stop the shouting inside of my head. I see my breath, it's floating like a ghost, a white smoke signal for the one I miss the most. I didn't grab a coat, I didn't grab my keys, I just needed to get out, I just needed to freeze. The shiver in my shoulders is keeping me awake. How much more of this silence can one person take? And I'm breathing in the cold night air, it stings my lungs, but touches me now since you broke the vow. Yeah, the frost is settling on my skin, freezing out the love that was within. Nothing left to hold, just a night air, bitter and cold. cold. The streetlights hum a lonely electric tune, casting long shadows underneath the moon. We used to sit here wrapped up in the heat, watching the cars go rolling down the street. Now the concrete is ice, the stars are looking dim. I'm losing the battle, I'm out on a limb. If I stay out here long enough, maybe I'll go numb, maybe I'll forget the morning that's to come. I didn't grab a coat, I didn't grab my keys. I just needed to get out, I just needed to freeze. This shiver in my shoulders is keeping me awake. How much more of this silence can one person take? And I'm breathing in the cold night air. It stings my lungs, but I don't care. It's the only thing that touches me now since you broke the vow. Yeah, the frost is settling on my skin, freezing out the love that was within. Nothing left to hold, just the night air, bitter and cold. Turn my blood to winter, turn my heart to stone. If I can't have your fire, I'll brave this ice alone. Let the wind cut through me, let the temperature drop. 'Cause when I'm freezing, maybe the hurting will stop. Breathing in the cold night air. It stings my lungs, but I don't care. It's the only thing that touches me now since you broke the vow. Yeah, the frost is settling on my skin, freezing out the love that was within. Nothing left to hold, just the night air, so cold I can see my breath. It's fading away, just like us. Ooh, later, cold night air.